Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Ontario. I'm here for a couple of days. My girlfriend has some work to do in the area, so I decided to tag along and see if I can find anything interesting. And right before leaving, I was talking to my buddies over at Badgerland Birding. I think we share a lot of the same subscribers, so a lot of you might be familiar with their channel. But they decided to issue me a little challenge while I'm here.
Hey Stefano, this is Ryan and Derek from Badgerland Birding. From what we can tell from your YouTube videos, you are pretty good at finding birds and taking photos of them. But we have a new challenge for you.
We heard you're going to be near Kingston, Ontario, so we are challenging you to find and photograph 3 different species there.
The first one is the swamp hawk, the gray ghost, the northern harrier.
That's when I always appreciate good photos of because they can just be so elusive. Bonus points if you get a picture of one perched. Additionally, we're challenging you to find the always majestic fan favorite snowy owl.
And then for your grand finale, bird number 3, we want you to find the ever acrobatic and the incredibly entertaining short-eared owl.
So good luck on your chase, and we'll see what you got.
So they picked some great species. The one I'm really excited about is the short-eared owl because that would be a lifer for me. I've never seen one before. So hopefully I can get that one this trip. And since they were so kind and generous to offer me 3 beautiful species, I figure I might as well issue them a challenge. So Derek, since you're in Louisiana, I would love for you to find a loggerhead shrike. That would be pretty epic. Blue-gray gnatcatcher and a limpkin. Find me a limpkin, they're gorgeous. And Ryan, since you're in Wisconsin, you might as well find a shrike as well. Go for a northern shrike. You can go for a fox sparrow, that would be nice. And last species, let's say a golden crown kinglet. So good luck, boys. After this video, go check out their channel, see how they did. I hope they can find all those species. And I'm just gonna finish up this loop quickly. And starting tomorrow morning, we're gonna go after those 3 species. Stay tuned. My morning started off with a short ferry ride across to a nearby island. The gulls were taking advantage of the only open water in the area, so I decided to grab my camera and see what all the commotion was about. Directly above the water, the gulls were able to hover in the strong winds and wait for any unsuspecting fish to swim within view. Once they locked onto their target, they'd plunge their entire bodies into the water and try to make a quick getaway before any of the other gulls realized they caught something. The light spilling over the island looked amazing, and shortly after arriving, I spotted my first raptor of the trip, a stunning rough-legged hawk. This species nests in the Arctic but makes its way south during the winter time. Most of my photo opportunities with these hawks look a lot like this, just very tiny specks in the distance. After continuing on, the wind really started to pick up, the clouds broke away, and the harsh midday sun covered the entire island. I spotted 2 mute swans soaking in the tropical weather, some snow buntings feeding on the side of the road, and up ahead, a white blob sitting on the telephone pole turned out to be one of my targets on the trip, the snowy owl. Unlike other owl species, snowy owls are diurnal, meaning they're mostly active during the daytime. This one is comfortably enduring the strong winds, and in hindsight, I wish I had spent more time here. I was sure I'd find more snowy owls and better spots for photos, however, this was the only one I'd see during my 2 days in the area. Before continuing on, I was able to admire its feathery talons up close, and I also took a peek at the dark markings on the wing, which to me, some of them kind of resembled the silhouettes of turkey vultures. With one target out of the way, I decided to walk around to see if I could find the northern harrier. My main target, the short-eared owl, usually starts hunting in the late afternoon right before sunset, so I had a couple of hours to kill until then. Although there were birds around, it was one of those afternoons where things just couldn't go right. The birds were either too high, too far, or flying in the wrong direction, and after all of that, I went to stake out the spot for the short-eared owls, and I waited and waited and waited. I stood there watching as the sun set and transformed the sky into a beautiful sheet of pink, the kind of lighting you just dream about when doing photography, but sadly no owls showed up. On the drive back, I was thinking a lot about it, and I got kind of worried that I only had one more day to find them, but little did I know at the time that one extra day was all I needed. day 2, folks, and things went from 0 to 100 real quickly. Completely different day than yesterday. I'm birding today with my girlfriend. She's down the trail, and we had to pack up the car and get everything ready because we're driving back home today after today's outing. So we kind of put all our eggs in one basket, hoping that we'll get the 2 other birds that I need for the challenge today, the northern harrier and the short-eared owl. And let me just tell you, it was off to a bad start. So we got to the island a little bit later and we started doing a drive around, and it seemed like all the birds that were around yesterday were either not there or they just were way further out than they were yesterday. And we even went to the snowy owl spot, no snowy owl around, but then almost like a switch turned off and we had 4 really great sightings, one after the other. So the first sighting was while we were driving down on the south side of the island. There was a little patch of grasses that were exposed on the side of the road, and there was a small muskrat that was feeding there. So we were able to pull off to the side. I got down on the ground. I army crawled a little bit out to him, but I got kind of lucky because right behind him, a plow came and kind of scared it off a bit, but it ended up running right next to me. I got some really close-up shots. It's not really a species that I go after at all, so having these small random moments is always a bonus. And then probably 5 minutes after seeing that, we turned down another road and there's a nice northern shrike sitting on the top of the tree. So Ryan, if you don't get your northern shrike in your video, I can generously offer up this one if you don't get it in your challenge. And then I questioned some of the locals about where I can find a short-eared owl. Excuse me, have you happened to see any short-eared owls anywhere? Excuse me? No? Isn't that a saying, turkeys never reveal their secrets? So that was just kind of cool to see them hanging out on the side of the road. And then as we were continuing, maybe about 10 minutes later, we were driving to this patch over here. There's a small little patch of woods. And as we're driving past, my girlfriend says, "Oh, there was something in that tree over there. Can you back up?" So we back up and it's a short-eared owl. So at the spot where I waited yesterday for at least 2-ish hours, it was just sitting in the tree. So I got my lifer. So that means that hopefully they're gonna be out later. So I'm kind of aiming to get there around 4-ish, 4:30, about an hour before sunset. And then lastly, as we got to this spot right here, 2 beautiful red foxes playing in the field. Things happen quick sometimes, and that was like probably an hour's worth of time, and we had 4 really nice sightings. I realized northern harrier, I still need northern harrier, but it's like short-eared owl. I want to go for the short-eared owl. So maybe I'll go 2 for 3, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. We could still find one. But man, my brain is clogged right now with short-eared owl thoughts. Shortly after finishing up our walk, we decided to start looking for the short-eared owls. Almost immediately, we spotted our first one, then our second, and our third. Before we could even finish scanning the area, the first one took flight. The clouds broke away, the sun pierced through. There's just this beautiful golden light, and I've counted so far about 7 short-eared owls hunting. They're a little far away, so I probably won't get any good photos out of this, but I don't really care. I mean, for me, the photos are always a cherry on top. They're a little bonus. Just being able to be out and see these animals hunting, like, what an experience. I'm still gonna wait around. Right now they kind of rested up a bit. They're on all the posts just sitting around. I'm sure they're gonna take flight soon and keep hunting. So I'll see if I can get anything else. Maybe there'll be some that come in a bit closer, but top notch. I don't even care that I didn't even see the harrier. I went 2 for 3, it's fine. This was my main target species. Like from that list, I really wanted to see it. Even though I wish the owls were flying a little bit closer, one benefit to having your subject further out is that you can really take in the environment around them. And when they're flying against a vibrant pink sky, it definitely makes up for the distance. All in all, it was a wonderful first encounter with short-eared owls and one that I definitely won't forget. Before I go, I'd just like to thank the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creatives. One of the things I love about Skillshare is that they have a wide variety of topics to learn about. So whether you're into photography, filmmaking, editing, and so much more, they've got you covered. If you're getting into video making, I highly suggest a class called Filmmaking for All, Tell Your Story Through Video by Dan Mace. He's a wonderful storyteller and quickly and concisely shares his storytelling framework that you can apply to your own videos and stories, no matter what the genre. There's so many other classes just like this one that are easy to follow with no ads, and new premium classes are added every week, so there's always something new to learn about. And right now, we're giving away free 1-month trials of Skillshare Premium memberships to the first 1,000 of my subscribers that join using the link below. So check it out, there's a bunch of amazing learning opportunities, and thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video.